Official, Noni Madueke is an Arsenal player. Jordan Henderson returns to the Premier League. Sancho agrees contract with Juventus. Real finalizes another major transfer this summer. All of this and more in today's episode. Official, Noni Madueke to Arsenal. The Gunners and Chelsea have reached full agreement for the transfer of Noni Madueke. The deal is worth £52 million, including bonuses. The player has already agreed to a 5-year contract valid until June 2030. His salary structure will remain at the level he had at Chelsea. Madueke is expected to receive the number 24 jersey, which is currently vacant at Arsenal and was his number at Chelsea in the 2022-23 season. The 23-year-old Englishman played 45 matches for the Blues last season, scoring 11 goals and providing 5 assists. Here's how Chelsea's head coach Enzo Maresca commented on the move. If a player wants to leave, then in the end it is difficult for the club and manager. And yes, Noni decided to leave. No one said to Noni he has to leave. It was his own decision. If he is happy, we are happy. Arsenal sees Madueke as a key reinforcement for the right flank, where he will compete with or deputise for Bukayo Saka, and can also play on the left wing if needed. It's interesting to see if Arsenal will now sign Rodrigo from Real Madrid. We will closely monitor all developments and share them with you promptly, so you can subscribe. By the way, this is Arteta's 4th summer signing after Kepa Arrizabalaga, Christian Nørgaard and Martin Zubimendi, and another transfer between London giants. Manchester United and Juventus have reached an agreement regarding the transfer of Jadon Sancho. The deal is worth €20 million, and now everything depends on the player himself. According to Sky Sports, Sancho wants to agree on a compensation package with United, as he has accepted a lower salary in Turin than he had at Old Trafford. This is the last barrier before the official transfer. If the parties agree, Sancho will become a Bianconeri player this week. Juventus sees him as a key player on the wing, and the player himself is ready to restart his career in Serie A after a mixed period at Chelsea. Álvaro Carreras is a Real Madrid player. The 22-year-old Spaniard returns to the Santiago Bernabeu, having already played in Real Madrid's academy from 2017 to 2020. Carreras had a brilliant season at Benfica, where he played in 54 matches and became one of the best left-backs in Europe. Real Madrid and Benfica have reached full agreement. The transfer fee is €50 million, which will be paid in several installments, not immediately. Manchester United, who held a buyback option, officially declined to activate it, but will receive approximately €9 million thanks to a 20% sell-on clause. Carreras will be Xabi Alonso's 4th summer signing, strengthening the left-back position, which has been problematic due to Ferland Mendy's injuries and Fran Garcia's inconsistent play. He is expected to immediately enter the starting lineup and become a key element in the Los Blancos' defensive rebuild. Official, Jordan Henderson is a new Brentford player. The 35-year-old ex-Liverpool captain has successfully passed his medical and signed a 2-year contract with Brentford, valid until summer 2027. The transfer occurred on a free transfer after the early termination of his agreement with Ajax. Henderson clearly stated that returning to England was his priority. At Brentford, he will receive the number 6 jersey, which he previously wore at Ajax and is currently vacant at the Bees. His salary will be around £66,000 per week, matching the level he had in the Netherlands. Henderson will be a direct replacement for Christian Nørgaard, who moved to Arsenal and is already preparing to lead Brentford's midfield under new coach Keith Andrews. This is a transfer that adds experience, leadership, and a winning mentality to a team undergoing reconstruction. Galatasaray has made a new attempt to sign Victor Osimhen. After their previous €70 million offer was rejected, the Turkish club sent an updated deal structure, €75 million, with €40 million paid immediately, and the remaining €35 million in installments with bank guarantees. This is a crucial point, as the guarantees were precisely why Napoli previously paused negotiations. Osimhen has already agreed personal terms with Galatasaray until 2028, and his desire is to stay in Europe, despite offers from Saudi Arabia. Last season, he scored 39 goals in 41 matches, becoming a hero in Istanbul and setting a record for a foreign player in Turkey. Now the decision rests again with Napoli, who insist on full financial security of the deal. If the parties agree, this will be one of the most high-profile transfers of the summer and the most expensive in Turkish football history, as the previous record belonged to Youssef En-Nesyri, who moved to Fenerbahce for €19.5 million. After the club failed to agree on Luis Díaz with Liverpool and Nico Williams unexpectedly extended his contract with Athletic until 2035, Barcelona has shifted its focus to Marcus Rashford, according to Sky Sports. The Catalans are ready to go all in to sign the Englishman, who has already expressed a desire to move to Camp Nou. Rashford has returned to Manchester United after a loan spell at Aston Villa, but he is not in Ruben Amorim's plans, and his number 10 jersey has already been given to Matheus Cunha. The player himself is willing to lower his salary demands to facilitate the transfer, which he calls a dream. Barcelona has already held talks with agent Pini Zahavi, and club bosses, including Laporta and Hansi Flick, discussed the deal details in a private meeting in Barcelona. The financial side remains an issue. The Catalans have restrictions from La Liga, so the deal structure requires a creative approach. By the way, regarding Barca, a rather interesting situation is developing with the team's goalkeepers. According to Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona's head coach Hansi Flick had a frank conversation with Marc-André ter Stegen, informing him that João Garcia will be the first-choice goalkeeper for the new season, and Wojciech Szczęsny will be second. This means the German goalkeeper finds himself in third position in the hierarchy, despite his captain's status and contract until 2028. Flick explained that this is a strategic decision related to the squad rebuilding and trust in young Garcia. Ter Stegen, in turn, stated that he has no intention of leaving the club and is ready to fight for a starting spot, even if it's difficult. He believes that his form and competition will give him a chance to return to the starting lineup. It's a strange situation. The coach explicitly says you won't play, you can leave the team, and the player says, I won't leave and I will play. It's surreal. Benfica is preparing an unconventional deal for Jam Felixs and plans to buy 50% of his rights for €20 million, as reported by Football Insider. This would allow the Lisbon club to bring back their academy product, who is willing to take a significant pay cut to return home. However, such a deal structure contradicts Premier League rules, which prohibit third-party ownership of player rights. These rules were strengthened after the controversial transfers of Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano in 2006. Therefore, to complete the deal, Benfica must either find an investor who will officially own the other 50% of the rights or buy the full rights and then sell a share to a third-party entity. After the transfer is completed, Chelsea, for its part, is ready to sell Félix but prefers to receive around €40 to €50 million to compensate for the cost of his transfer from Atletico. Benfica, however, hopes for a compromise, considering the player's desire to return and the Blues' financial difficulties. The scandal surrounding Morgan Gibbs White's transfer to Tottenham is escalating. Nottingham Forest is preparing an official complaint to the Premier League, accusing the Spurs of illegal contact with the player. According to Sky Sports, the club believes that Tottenham violated regulations by approaching the player without permission and is already consulting with lawyers regarding possible legal action. The situation resembles the high-profile case from 2023 when Crystal Palace accused Chelsea of an illegal approach to Michael Olise. At that time, the Eagles were so outraged by the London club's actions that they threatened to go to a tribunal, and lawyers were already preparing documents. Chelsea activated the release clause, agreed personal terms with the player, but due to the threat of legal consequences, was forced to abandon the transfer. As a result, Olise signed a new 4-year contract with Palace, and the case did not go to court. The clubs decided to avoid escalation. This precedent could be decisive in the Gibbs White case, as the Premier League already has experience dealing with similar conflicts. If Forest proves the violation, Tottenham could face fines or even transfer restrictions. Official: Malik Tilman is a Bayer Leverkusen player. The 23-year-old attacking midfielder is moving from PSV Eindhoven to the Bundesliga vice-champion for about €35 million, signing a contract until June 30th, 2030. This is one of the most high-profile transfers of the summer for the work self, and at the same time, the most expensive sale in PSV's history, after the transfers of Lozano and Gakpo. Last season, Tilman scored 16 goals and provided 5 assists in 34 matches, including 3 goals in the Champions League. His dynamism, technique, and versatility in the number 10 and number 8 positions fit perfectly into Leverkusen's playing style. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.